Hello and welcome. Today in this video I want to talk about image processing. Image processing is a bit underrated, I feel like. Now the amount of image processing definitely depends on your style that you're going for and the style that you like. But even if you just want to see the picture as natural as possible, if you shoot RAW, you will get a pretty washed out picture because that's RAW. It gives you a lot of information and a lot of detail in your pictures, but in return it looks kind of flat straight out of camera. And even if you don't like to edit your picture a lot or make it look differently than what it looked like in the field, I still think image processing is a very important part of photography, and it can actually add so much to your picture. Now I've got some of my favorite landscape photos here, and I'm gonna show you the RAW file before any processing and the picture after I was done with processing them. Every single picture that you're gonna see was taken with the Canon 600D, which is a $500 entry-level DSLR, and with either the Canon 18-55 kit lens, which is the kit lens, $100 lens, really nothing special, or the Tamron 70-300, which is about the $300 lens. The reason I'm mentioning the gear is not because I want to show off, it's just that even with a Canon 600D, which has a very limited dynamic range, very limited detail, combined with the 18-55 kit lens or a relatively cheap telephoto lens like the Tamron 70-300, you can still get great photos and very good results. Anyways, for up, my personal style of editing and what I really like is a very kind of in-your-face look, very vibrant, very dramatic, very dynamic. So if you're a purist and you really don't like image processing, you probably don't want to watch this video. And of course, because I'm showing the transformation from the RAW file to the finished picture, it might look very dramatic and kind of overdone, but in my personal style, I really like the way that it looks. Obviously, that's why I edited this way, and a lot of times edits will look very natural once you look at it for like a minute and you don't see the direct comparison to the RAW file. So anyways, enough of me talking, I just want to show you some landscape photos. Here you can see a very nice landscape photo of the Canon on the Isle of Skye. This is currently the RAW file, and this is what I've made out of it. Now if Lightroom loads, so you can see a drastic difference, and I know it looks like absolutely over processed because you see the direct comparison. But personally, you know, I've really put a lot of effort into editing this picture, and this is what I've ended up with looking the best to me personally. So you can see the dramatic difference here from this to this, and I definitely think, in my personal opinion, this is a much stronger image. It really shines and makes the whole landscape so much more dramatic, so much more vibrant, and also kind of more in your face, which is my style. But anyways, let's go on to the next picture here. So this is a sunrise photo on the Isle of Skye once again. Wait until Lightroom loads. Alright, so we have a sharp picture here. Once again, this is the RAW file, and this was what I've made out of it. Now, again, a huge difference. If you see the comparison side by side, you definitely think it's overprocessed, but once you look at it for a minute, it really doesn't seem that much overprocessed anymore. And once again, the RAW file is really not what I've seen in person. What I've seen in person is a mixture between that, the RAW file, and what I've edited into. Now, it wasn't that strong, but I really do like the picture. That's just my favorite look. To the next one here. Here a shot of the Eiffel Tower. Once again, let's wait until everything loads. Once again, Canon 600D with the 70-300 Tamron lens, which is a $300 lens, was this taken, I believe. And I mean, there's pretty good sharpness considering that we have such a cheap lens and cheap camera. Anyways, let's see here. So this is the RAW file, and this is what I've turned this into once Lightroom loads, of course. and I definitely like the picture so much more than before. It really changed from kind of like an okay shot to a really cool picture that I personally would hang on my wall. And you know, a lot of people will probably see the raw file here and say, well, it's an okay picture, but I don't really think it's that great. But if you know a bit about editing and post-processing, once again, not trying to show off, really just trying to help you improve your own photography, you can turn a picture like that into something like this. Now, of course, if you don't like it that much, if you don't want to edit that much, then you can always go like just half the way and stop there. But I really think there's a lot of pictures from people that really have a lot of potential with the right editing. Anyways, let's go on to the next picture here. This one is one that I really like, from the Canon on the Isle of Skye. Here's the raw file once again, so you can see the sky is kind of washed out. I mean, it's not overexposed, but it's just because the raw file, no contrast, no clarity in the sky, so it looks very flat. And here's what I've made out of it. Once again, let's wait. Alright, so this is the finished picture. So you can see here, sky has a lot more variation, a lot more dynamic, a lot more punch in the whole picture, including the grass right here. And I believe I've got one or two more pictures prepared. Now this is one of my all-time favorite pictures here of the Nice Point Lighthouse, also on the Isle of Skye. Here's the raw file, and here's what I've made out of it. And I really don't think many people would consider that particular photo over-processed, even if you're not really a big fan of processing. I mean, I really just love what post-processing did to this photo. It really gave it a lot of clarity, a lot of sharpness, and detail structure in these little rocks right here. It added so much dynamic to the picture, so much more detail revealing from the clouds and the sky. Once again, let's go down the long history. Here is the raw file. Yeah, this is the raw file without any adjustments to it. And to the next picture here, and I think this is the last one. This is a panoramic image from Paris once again, of the Eiffel Tower, and you can see, because it's a panoramic image, it has so much detail in it. I'm here zoomed in 1:1, and you really can see all of these details in the houses. Once again, remember, this was taken with the Canon 18-55 kit lens, so really not an expensive setup at all. But regardless, this is the raw file just after putting together the panoramic image. And here is what I've made out of it after cropping and post-processing. So again, it looks like a very dramatic difference, and it definitely is, but once you look at it for a few minutes, it really does look natural, and it doesn't seem like over-processed anymore, at least in my opinion. So on that note, I really want to encourage you to just shoot RAW, because even if you don't have a great camera, even if it's just a point and shoot or a beginner DSLR, if you shoot RAW, you can get so much detail in your shot, in your photo, which you can play around with later in post-production. Now, personally, I use Lightroom, but of course you don't have to. There's a lot of other RAW converters which you can get pretty much the same look as I did with Lightroom. I just happen to like Lightroom personally the best. And also a thing that I kinda feel is funny a bit is that film photographers always say, well, back in the film days we had the perfect color, we had all natural color. Today in digital is everything over-edited. But the funny thing is, most films are designed to saturate colors more than the eye does in person, so it's kind of ironic there. Once again, my personal style of editing is really very heavy, so even if you don't want to edit your pictures as heavy, I still think in any case you can get away with a much better picture after some editing. than the raw file itself. Well, anyways, if you liked the video, leave me a thumbs up, and if you disliked the video, leave me a thumbs down. That really helps me to see what you guys like and help me on improving my videos in the future. And please share your thoughts and your experiences on post-processing and editing your pictures down in the comments below. That would definitely be something that I'd be very interested in. And of course, if you'd like to see more videos just like this one, other Lightroom tutorials, editing videos, and all kind of photography stuff, please be sure to subscribe. And as always, I want to wish you an amazing day. Keep taking awesome pictures. Take care.